lovely listener. Welcome to Skill Check, the positive gaming podcast from YMCA Exeter. My name is Andy.
And my name is Becky.
And my word, is it good to be here? Well, it's good to be in work.
It's good to be back at work.
To be perfectly honest with you, I think we're both a bit poorly still.
We're both might be a bit poorly still, yeah.
I think we're both a bit not right.
Which
if
is what
the
happened
last
last week, for example.
45 minutes is anything to go by.
We were both poorly last week, so we were both off it, which was like, we were literally texting each other in the morning going, we're both sick.
We're both sick.
Which, we love to do it in sync.
That's how these things work.
Yep.
And I think we're still both a bit
Out of it.
not with it
Yeah.
at all.
I'll count that. Yeah.
If the last minute's worth of
we're having a whale of a time.
congratulations if you've made it this far. Thank you very much.
Anyway.
What have we got coming up? Because we've had all sorts of technical issues so far, and it may have got to me a little bit.
Plot of it.
Please help me, Becky.
Okay, so coming up, we've got we could talk about keeping control of the apps on our phone, and games that upset Andy, which could be any game.
It's just one game.
One game that upsets Andy. And we're talking about cheat games, but first we've got gaming news.
Right, now it's time for gaming news.
Gaming news. Our first piece of gaming news this week is parents, toys, and gaming. Parents are increasingly buying more toys and games for themselves, says new research. So-called kidults may have been spending their limited disposable income on puzzles and games rather than nights out. Toy sales fell overall in 2022 by 6%. Parents have been cutting back on impulse buys, such as the so-called pocket money toys that cost under £10. Despite consumers shopping around on the price, the toy industry is comparatively resilient to economic downturns compared to other sectors.
Guilty as charged.
Do you buy gold? Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like I was aiming this at you, because I was pretty sure.
I'm fairly certain I saw a news article a while back about how grown-ups are actually a target audience for Lego.
Yeah.
And it's a growing one as well.
Yeah. I think Lego's great, because I think it's like a puzzle. Do you not think it's just like a 3D puzzle that you would do on like a puzzle board?
Well, it's a combination of a 3D puzzle, little bit mindfulness as well, I think. Yeah. In that when you've got a build that takes more than 5-10 minutes, you kind of lose yourself into it, and you're kind of concentrating, you're focusing in on it, and hopefully it looks beautiful once done. Yeah,
and also after I had written this article as well, I was thinking about how we use things like Lego. And like we do a lot of craft and stuff at Youth Club, but also then I was like, why don't we ever put just Lego on the table? Because I'm sure that young people would love having just some Lego on the table. So in the future, maybe we'll just use that Youth Club as like here's a little thing extra to do.
I'm fairly certain we've got some Lego kicking around for the YMCA Youth Club to use. Not a problem.
I've got some boxes. Right, our second piece of gaming news is the Xbox power saving measures. Microsoft, the company behind Xbox, have been rolling out updates to those signed up for its Xbox Insider program ahead of its general release. Microsoft say that their new update will make it the first carbon-aware gaming console. The update means the consoles will attempt to update when more of the energy to the console is coming from green sources such as wind or solar. The console will also go into shutdown mode, when the Microsoft say will reduce power usage by 20% compared to when the console is in sleep mode.
I mean, that's a lot of numbers there.
It is,
but I feel the headline is Microsoft are helping us save the planet whilst playing computer games at the same time.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And it feels like it's a good.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is a good thing. I think
they're adapting their existing technology to use less energy.
Yeah. And so the thing that doesn't say is that some of it is to do with the cost of living and understanding that people are not being able to spend as much money on energy anymore. Yeah. And so hopefully this will reduce their energy outgoings from not having things on standby. But we all know about standby. Like, I feel like if you don't know about standby, you should know that standby is actually very energy inefficient.
Yeah.
And actually, even just turning things off at the plug socket makes a massive difference to your energy bills.
Yeah, but it's... Yes, I know.
So yeah, for the future, for you guys out there, if you are struggling with cost of living, there's little useful tips to know about, like turning things off at the plug sockets and not leaving things on standby. This is stuff that is, I mean, it's not going to save you loads of money, but it will save you some money.
Yeah.
And hopefully this is another thing that will...
It's very much the sort of advice that can contribute towards helping.
Yeah.
Rather than
it's
helping
not going to get you out of the hole. Yeah. Awesome. Our third piece of gaming news this week is Shakespeare and Fallout. We love this one.
Yes.
So a virtual theatre troupe from all across the world have been performing Shakespeare in the open world game Fallout 76. The group formed when some fellow gamers realised that Fallout is littered with references to Shakespeare. The Wasteland Theatre Company now performs Shakespeare in the open world, building sets and making costumes from the various elements of the game. Because of the open world nature of the game, other players can turn up and watch the company perform. The company says it's like any travelling theatre company, just this time in the world of a video game.
I mean, it sounds awesome.
It does.
I've got to admit, hearing about this inspired me to try and jump into the world of Fallout 76. Don't have a clue what I'm doing. Fairly certain I die and I just wander around aimlessly.
Fair enough.
But, as far as the game goes, it looks amazing.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting one, isn't it? Like, it's bringing something that's quite old, culturally to, like, a different audience. And they do say that, and that actually this is not, like, quite a lot of people that play Fallout might not necessarily know, have ever seen or heard any Shakespeare. And actually, I mean, I don't, like, unless you, I mean, everybody studies it at school, that's the thing. However, also, you might not have never been to a Shakespeare play. Like, it's
I guess it brings it to a different audience, doesn't it? Yeah, that's it.
And it helps people to understand that Shakespeare isn't just for, like,
the theatre-y.
Yeah. It's really cool. That's really enjoyed that one. And then last piece of gaming news, which is, like, our favourite positive piece of gaming news for this week.
Oh, is this...
Grandparents are using gaming to connect more with their grandchildren.
Oh, I love this.
Parents and grandparents alike are finding
I love this.
Gathering around a common interest creates an opportunity for intergenerational interactions and connections even at a distance.
You know what? We should kind of... Maybe we should go and find some more grandparents to listen to this podcast.
Yeah. If you've got grandparents, send them the podcast and say, we can play some games together. Currently, the fastest growing market in gaming is people between the ages of 55 and 64, rising by almost a third since 2018. Parents and grandparents are increasingly counting gaming as a family tie. They've been affectionately coined the term OAGs, old age gamers.
Wow.
It's brilliant.
Not 100% sure what I think of the term, but
yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's gaming that is being used to create a connection between people.
Yeah.
And the article itself, the survey itself, is looking at a group of people willing to try something new to connect with people.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're finding it enjoyable is almost
and now
a fortunate byproduct. And doing it themselves. And you know what? Well done you to anyone who's trying something new.
Yeah.
And fantastic.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I think it's a great way of connecting, and it's nice to know that there are some grandparents out there that want to try and connect with their grandchildren on that level.
Becky.
Andy.
I don't know about you.
Yeah.
But when I take my phone out of my pocket and I go to open up something, it's incredibly easy to open up something else.
Yeah.
In my case, it's Facebook.
Yeah.
And I find that as soon as I open up Facebook, I mean, what can I say? It's like it knows me. It knows exactly what to show me. It knows exactly how to get my attention. It knows what videos I might want to see at any given moment. And then what video I might want to see next.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. And before I know it, I'm actually doing something completely different, and I've forgotten exactly what it is that I wanted to.
And you spend half an hour on Facebook Marketplaces looking at bookshelves that you don't need to buy.
Nor have any room for, folks. And this is quite true. So, I stumbled across, and I think, again, this could be Facebook knowing me.
Okay. It's come up in the creepy algorithm, hasn't it?
It came up in the creepy algorithm known as Instagram.
Okay.
Because Facebook and Instagram,
same company.
Basically same company, basically
Lovely
same
Meta.
people, basically same algorithm. Anyway, so Instagram shows me this advert for this app that helps you keep your focus and helps you kind of just stops and asks you, do you really want to open up this app?
Interesting. Okay.
And you can set it, so it doesn't have to be Facebook, it can be any app.
Okay.
And it basically flashes up a message asking you to take a breath.
Okay.
The idea is that whilst you're waiting for the screen to finish loading, you have a chance to think to yourself, actually, is this what I really wanted? Did I really mean to open up Facebook? Or did I really mean to open up Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, all the other kind of time sucks?
Yep.
Oh, actually, I did. And it gives you a chance to kind of close it down and move on with your life. So that is 1 sec available from the App Store. I'm sure there are other
Have you found, Andy, that it works for you?
Oh, flip. Yeah, it does.
Okay.
And it has made me more aware of the times when I've just mindlessly opened up Facebook for no good reason at all.
Yeah.
Apart from my fingers just gravitate towards Facebook.
Yeah, it is Instagram for me, and I do the same thing. So and you can spend hours. I would spend hours on Instagram watching videos of dogs.
So you could set it up for Instagram. So on the free package, you can only do one app at a time.
Okay.
Which, if there is one app, that's ideal, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you want to do more, then you've got to pay for the full package.
Okay.
1 sec, if you're listening, I'm happy to try it out if you want to get in touch.
How much is it to pay for it?
Oh, that's a good question. I want to say somewhere between $7.99 and £10 a month.
A month? Oh, gosh.
But that could be because that's the general kind of subscription type rates. Okay. There are, I'm sure, other.
Do the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always good to think about when you're using your apps, isn't it, on your phone? And even things like my sister plays Candy Crush so much. But it's things like that you're like, she'll be going to do an email or something on her phone, and then the next minute she'll be playing Candy Crush. So I guess that's that's
the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're going to open it up, and because, I mean, the designers between what we play and what we have on our phone, it's all very clever, and it's all very much there to kind of get your attention and keep your attention. Yeah. And stuff like this just is there to kind of give you a greater sense of control over how you're spending your time. Okay, so every so often we like to take a chance to highlight either cheaper games, good deals that we've seen, or games that are indeed free. Now, at the moment, Ubisoft have quite a massive sale going on across all platforms, from PC, Xbox, I'm going to say Switch as well, but I imagine PlayStation is probably in on that. Yeah. And one game I would flag up is called Valiant Hearts, which is basically a war game with a difference. Okay. In that, if I said to people, it's a war game, they'll probably imagine your classic first-person shooter. Yeah. This is more of a animated, puzzle-based game that focuses on the story of a couple characters in France during the build-up to, and I think the Second World War. Incredibly well presented, incredibly comic book based, so not graphic at all. And yeah, there's a lot of heart in there, and it's a couple quid at the moment.
Nice.
Other games that are free.
Yep.
Well, I can't go too long without mentioning The Sims 4. Epic told me themselves last night when I sat down on my PC downstairs, and I was like,
I had many a conversation about The Sims, and I love The Sims. But I don't know how I feel about it being free. But if you like playing The Sims, definitely grab it. But
it's all the packages or whatever.
Yeah, you still have to pay for the extra bits.
Yeah, so they've just made the base game free now. I mean, it's probably to get everyone ready for Sims 5 coming out. Who knows when?
Ooh, I would like them to regress and make it less complicated. I think it got too complicated in Sims 4.
Is there too much life simulator involved?
Yeah. It's
one of those bizarre things about life, isn't it? You know, we're trying to work out how to keep these little people alive and functioning, and was actually sometimes struggling to do it ourselves.
Yeah, it's like the peak for me with The Sims was Sims 2, which is probably you can like at one point. You could still get The Sims 2 quite cheaply with all the expansion packs, which is also a fun, cheap game. But I think it got too complicated after that. They basically made it so that you could like live in a flat, and then you could control all the people in the different flats. And then at one point, like, you could do something else.
You can control all the people in the different flats.
Yeah,
it sounds like some sort of god game.
You could live in a flat. You could have a whole block of flats. But each individual flat would be like a different game, basically.
Wow.
So you'd have a person that you could do, this person lives in the top flat, this person lives in the bottom flat, and then you would have you would have to like go in and out and control them differently, and you couldn't it wasn't like a family thing where you like control the whole family, which I think was The Sims 3, and then it just gets complicated.
I feel the need to stream The Sims at some point.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of The Sims. I have been since the original game. Back in the day, it was one of the first video games that I ever bought with my sister. We saved up our pocket money to buy it. But I'm looking for a game, and we would literally spend hours. And even these days, I don't pick up so much anymore because if I do, I don't do anything the rest of the day. And I have other responsibilities that I can't ignore. Like my dog, for example, she doesn't get fed, she gets sad. So I love the game, love The Sims. I'm a big advocate for it and I love it. However, I would like it to be a bit less complicated next time. And also, it got to the point where you're being able to control even just the way they walked, and you're like, that is too much. And then it takes you an hour just to make a sim.
So you've heard it here. Sims 5, please make life less complicated. One last one to look out for. It's called Inward. And it's a game about meditation, and it's absolutely free on Steam.
Nice.
As of from yesterday.
And now it's time for Andy's Game of the Week. Andy, what is your game this week?
Okay, game of this week is Human Fall Flat. And it's a very silly game.
This is the one that was frustrating you, right? This is the one that makes you sad.
It's a very silly game. Basically, you control... I don't know if you remember the old adverts featuring a guy called Mr. Soft, where basically you're it's this kind of white, kind of weird cushion character.
Okay.
And you're all a bit floopy all over the place. His arms are down.
Right.
You're leading left, right, and centre. And it's all a bit weird. Basically, you're controlling something like that.
Okay.
And you've got to kind of get over obstacles. You've got a course, you've got a track to work out how to get across. You control his arms. You've got to lean in the right direction, move the arms up in the right direction. I'm not selling this game very well, am I?
No.
Mostly because I personally find it quite frustrating. But my 10-year-old daughter seems to really enjoy it.
Okay.
And she definitely likes the idea of it. She likes the puzzles. She was first shown it by a friend of hers.
Oh, nice.
And I kind of watch this. I kind of play this. I'm like, no. I mean, I end up playing it anyway.
You play it for hours. It's one of those games that you like get frustrated with, but also then you play it for hours.
Well, that's definitely her case.
Okay.
That's definitely her case. There has been some frustration shared.
Okay.
But, you know, it's okay, and that's fine, because that gives a perfect opportunity to have conversations like, you know what? If you're feeling a bit tired, if you're feeling a bit kind of anyway, doing something like this may not be the best thing for you.
Yeah.
And it might be best to go play Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley or something like that instead.
Okay.
But Human Fall Flat, apparently lots of people like it.
Okay.
Good, innocent, puzzle-based game.
Can you get it on all consoles?
I believe you can get it on all consoles. Sometimes it's available for about a tenner.
Nice. And that's all we've got time for this week. So we hope that you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again next week. You can find us on all our good. We've got a new
we've got news. We are on a lot of social medias.
We are. So you can find us on YMCA still, which is the normal one, which is the everyday one. You can now also find us on YMCA Extra Games.
Yes, and that is where we post more direct updates about podcasts. If we were to bring back streaming anytime
that would be soonish, where it is.
That's where you find news about it, as well as other bits and pieces as well.
So we'll be on there, and you can find us there as well. And we'll hopefully see you next time.